What's happening, guys? Jamie, going for a little stroll just before the sun sets there around sunny Melbourne. Thought I'd drop a couple of nuggets for you guys. So there's one thing that's going to be the determining factor about how easy it is for you to make sales online. And what it means is that you don't need to be a good copywriter, you don't need to be good at sales, you don't need any complex funnels, and any complex systems, automations, anything like that in order to sell stuff. What it means is that it allows you to take the burden of process out of it, right? So you can literally sell stuff with a couple of messages, you can sell stuff through a bit of content, people just reaching out to you and kind of like finding their way to your links and buying stuff. And it's pretty cool, right? And so it is really simply by creating authority. And so the question then remains, especially for folks that are new in their journey, whether you're a coach, course creator, affiliate, anyone that sells anything really, is, well, how do you create a sense of authority? How do you actually build that up when you're just getting started? In particular, that light is terrible. It makes me look angelic. There we go. Kind of half see my face there. There we go. So the question is then, how do you build that up? How do you create it? Right? And so really simply, there's a couple of ways. This is something that I teach inside my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind program. So I'll leave a link below if you want to join my free Facebook group. You can check out what I'm up to there and see whether or not my method of behind my madness is something's going to resonate for you. Like I say, if you're a coach or anyone really wanting to scale to 6 figures using a very simple Facebook group formula that I've been developing. Now, how do you build authority is actually simpler than you might think. So number one, it starts with your results, right? What have you done? As in you, not me. I mean, what have I done? Lots of stuff, but what have you done? That's how you build it, right? And then you document what you're doing, and you talk about what you've done, and you talk about the lessons that you've learned along the way. And that's how you start building it. You also start building it by helping people out without expectation of return. And so that would be quite simply, if you are doing stuff on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., quite simply finding people that you can go and help without expectation of return, right? So if I hop on a call with someone and say, listen, I'll tell you the secret sauces thing that I've just learned how to do that's going to solve XYZ problem for you. All I ask in return, this is not a sales call, all I ask in return is that you drop a couple of lines either in my free group or while we're on the actual call, just basically give me a little bit of a testimonial, right? So now, especially if you've got it on video, you've got something that you can use in your content, right? You can get it transcribed. Then you've got like little quote cards and different things you can put everywhere. And all it needs to say is, this person was able to help me resolve this issue. And of course, it gets better once you start helping people with financial results as well, because then you can basically say, all right, due to this one small tweak that Jamie gave me, I was able to hit $1 billion in 55 seconds without even trying. This is the type of results you're getting online these days, right? You're not, doesn't exist. And so yeah, that's another way. Other way is leveraging other forms of social proof. For example, what you can do if you're doing things on Facebook, for instance, or Instagram, or anything, really doesn't matter, is not the size of your audience, right? Don't worry about that. You don't need a big audience to make a shitload of money. But having said that, if you have some people and those people are engaging in your content, right? So they're liking, they're commenting, they're writing thoughtful comments. Oh man, my shoulders are tired. Too many push-ups these days. Oh my God, that's better. So things like that. Now, what that's going to do is, if you're going through Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the algorithms, all the platforms basically need you as a user to spend time on that platform, because they can serve you more ad impressions, which means that they're going to make more money, right? So that's why it's like a big casino, because they're triggering your dopamine responses when you get engagement back. If you get people that are nice to you and say nice things on your content, so therefore it triggers our dopamine sensors. What we can do though is we can leverage that. And all you need to do is spend 20 minutes a day, roughly. I like to gamify it, so I do 30 to 50 touch points on my audience. Quite simply that I'll scroll through my newsfeed and engage in any prospects I've been communicating with. I will write something on their posts if it's relevant and recent. Don't be weird and like start scrolling through content from 2017, starting liking that type of stuff. Like, make sure it is recent and is relevant to your cause as well. And what that's going to do is it's kind of like planting dots on a map, right? After a while, all these dots, the big army of prospects that's coming through, they're going to start seeing some of your content. Some of those people that you've engaged with, they're going to engage back. They're going to reciprocate, law of reciprocity. Okay, and so then after a while, you start getting more and more posts, likes and comments on your post, which then means that you're building up more social proof, right? Because if someone stumbles upon your profile and you've got not necessarily a whole bunch of followers, but you've got a ton of engagement, then that is going to be better from a social proof and authority perspective than someone that doesn't. Okay, now of course, likes aren't loot. It's not going to automatically translate into cash flow, and it is one of those things where you don't need to be doing it forever. And just because you're getting a whole bunch of likes and comments doesn't mean you're going to automatically make a whole bunch of cash either. Unfortunately, it's not quite how it works, and it does lessen over time. You don't need as much engagement over time, because by that stage you've already built, guess what, authority. There you go. Some other ways. So what do we got? Testimonials, engagement's real easy. We can all go do that. You can also imply authority as well. And implying authority is basically where you're able to speak about things that you have done. For example, I'll give you guys a little story. I put out a post on my my Facebook group the other day, and basically I had a kind of a moment of clarity. And the moment of clarity came when I realized I need to be more vocal with who I'm calling out in my audience. I don't work with people that have a victim mentality. I don't work with people that complain a lot, or that aren't forthcoming with questions if they're just sitting there waiting for all the answers and then complain that they're not getting them. I don't work well with that, right? It doesn't resonate with my style of doing things. I don't chase people, right? Like, I'm not your mum. I'm not a babysitter. If you want that, go seek someone else out, right? So I put these things in a post, not to spite anyone, not to try and attack anyone or anything for that matter. It's just really me being very, very clear about who I want to serve and who I can serve based on where I'm at in my current journey. And so lo and behold, oh my God, so bright. Not wearing sunnies was a bad idea. There we go, it's better. Sweet, sweet darkness, my friend. And so I say all this because what happened was, at the end of it, I put a call to action. I've got my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind program, heavily undervalued at the moment, heavily underpriced. And so I'm removing the current payment plan at the moment, just because it's way underpriced. Anyways, so I'm removing that, and then someone just DM'd me and they said, hey, I'm really interested in your payment plan. I'm like, cool, here's a link. And then I woke up in the morning and paid me $1,000. He decided not to go with the payment plan. He's just jumped in at the full pay. And so, sure, yeah, it's $1,000, which is cool. It's one sale. But what it highlights is a couple of things. Number one is there is an implicit authority behind the post that I put out. The implicit authority is just being real clear about who I want to work with, who I don't want to work with. But me talking about that, it raises my own standards, my own brand perspective, which then means that I'm creating more of a leadership role, which means that more people are going to be inspired to work with that type of attitude, right? The other thing was, because I have authority, I didn't need to sell this guy. Admittedly, I had a really good sales page, but I didn't need to sell him because he was already hooked. And sure enough, he had been following my stuff for a little while, and he jumped in, and that was cool. This isn't isolated. I get this on a relatively regular basis these days, where people just like cold DM me, and hey, do you have an affiliate link for that? Or hey, would you like access to, I've got access to that, or blah blah blah, things like that. And so that's what you kind of want to aim for, is building your authority. Like I say, the main benefit is it just reduces the need to be a good copywriter, reduces the need to be good at content in general, good at sales, good at funnel build, like all that stuff. You don't really need it anyway to start with. You can get into that when you want to automate certain things, but that's it. Go and create some authority, and make sure as part of this process that you are always building it as well. Like, you can't just kind of like go, oh cool, I've got authority now what? You need to keep reminding your audience that you do have authority. It's very rare for me to be filming outside, and the reason for that is I almost always pick up my camera and film with my 2 Comma Club award behind me, because the people that are in the know are going to know that that represents me having surpassed 7 figures online, So therefore I need that or want that as part of my authority, right? So therefore it's, like I say, very rare for me being out here. Anyway, that is something for you guys to chew on. Hope you got some value from this. Drop a comment below, let me know your thoughts on this stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my walk. See you in the next one. Cheers.